Monday, everyone, and happy summer. My name is Allison, and I'm a volunteer with cdck, and welcome to our June adoption event. I'm also joined, as always, by Mila, who is another volunteer and who coordinated this event and is helping behind the scenes. And today we have some incredible foster dogs for you to meet, and I'm so excited to get to speak with their wonderful fosters. But before we meet them, just a little bit about us. City Dogs and City Kitties Rescue is located in Washington, D.C., and we're a nonprofit organization that rescues animals in overcrowded and under-resourced shelters. And we don't have a physical shelter, which means that all of our adoptable dogs are with fosters in their homes, as you'll see today. And you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, pretty much any social media platform at City Dogs Rescue. And our website, which you'll hear a bunch tonight, is citydogsrescuedc.org. That's dogs plural, also with DC. And on that website, which is citydogsrescuedc.org, you can donate and find fundraisers. You can inquire about dogs, whether it's the ones you'll meet today or any other dogs that we have available. And you can find information about volunteering and about applying to foster, which is great because we always need more fosters, especially since we really depend on our fosters to allow us to be able to rescue more dogs. We also have some wonderful in-person events if you would like to meet some of our adoptable dogs there. And just one last thing, I wanted to thank our amazing fosters, both those who are on the call and those who are not, who really do such important work. Oftentimes, these dogs are coming straight from the shelters, and our fosters truly put in the time and effort to get them acclimated to life in a home. So thank you all. And for those in the audience, please feel free to ask questions in the chats on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll do our best to get to them. So with all of that being said, thank you so much, everyone, and let's get started. So first up, we have Ace, who is being fostered by Celeste. Ace is a male pit bull bulldog mix. He's about 6 months old and about 30 pounds. So welcome to Celeste and Ace. There he is. Celeste, can you please tell us a little bit about Ace?
Sure. So he's a good sized pup. He's got some great paws. I don't know if you guys can see them. They're awesome. Great big paws. He doesn't know quite what to do with them yet. He's a little still little unsure of himself coming around corners too fast, but he's learning. He's doing really well. Happy dog, just a happy dog. There's no reason not to be, right? He's just a happy puppy, and he's got a box of toys, and he loves his toys. He loves to chew, loves to play tug of war. I think we put up a tug of war video online, and he really, he loves playing with other dogs. He loves being in the space with the other animals, and he's just having a good time. He's by and large been a really good house guest. So, sometimes puppies chew on things they shouldn't, and Ace is not one of those puppies. He's good, leaves the shoes, the furniture, and the rugs alone. So
that's very impressive. Wow.
It is impressive. Trust me, it's impressive. It's good. So he's a handful, meaning, he's got a lot of energy, but it's good puppy energy. It's good, positive puppy energy. He's happy. He's happy to be around you. He's happy to play with his toys on his own. So he doesn't have to be in your space 24/7, which is wonderful. He's not underfoot. But when he wants attention, he'll come find you and, ask. And then he goes about his business and goes back to playing with his toys. He's really good about settling down at night. So we're on a good routine. So he settles easily, and he sleeps through the night. He enjoys eating, loves to eat. He is food motivated, which, if you're training a dog, is a great thing to have. So loves his treats. Working really well. He's done really well on his leash. Loves the walks, loves outdoors, loves being with other dogs on walks outdoors. He's good in public spaces. I wasn't sure how he would do. We took him to the farmer's market, and people were amazed at how calm he stayed, because there's a lot to do in a farmer's market and a lot to see. And he was great. Kids knelt down to pet him, and he was fine with them. he let them pet them, and people came over to him, other dogs came over to him, and he was great. You're never sure how they're going to react, and he did such a nice job. So he's a good boy. He's a really good boy, and sat down, like I said, calms pretty easily. Ask him to sit, give him a treat, and he'll sit down, and he does well. He's doing really, really well.
That's great. I'm so happy to hear that. And so you mentioned that he can sit and he'll take his treat. So how is Ace doing with his training overall?
So he's doing house training. He knows out. He knows, bathroom. He knows that, he goes out in the morning. And then the rest of the time, again, he's a puppy. So you just got to kind of watch him. And he'll give you some telltale signs, and you get him outside, and he's doing really well with the house training. Just great. The only thing I don't do with him is crate train. And he's not a big cave dog. He's not a big crate dog. So he sleeps out at night, and he's perfectly fine. And I go to work during the day and have a dog walker come, and he's perfectly fine. Like I said, we've done really well. So
that's awesome.
He's good. No separation anxiety, other than if you leave through the garden gate, he just wants to come with you. But otherwise, no barking, no crying, no whining. He's a good pup.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what do you think an ideal day looks like for Ace?
Toys, more toys. Playing tug of war.
Yes.
So more and more, lots of tug of war. Let's see if I can get it.
Look at that. Oh.
He could do this, 24/7 if you let him. Right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, he loves his toys. Well, at night when when it's time getting close to bed, he'll go get one of his chew toys and settle down on the sofa with it and just sit there and kind of self-soothe, if you will. And he's good about it. Okay, bud, you want to show him?
Doing so well, Ace. Look at that. He's so sweet.
He just loves to play. I think his ideal day would be eat, nap, walk, play, and repeat, rinse and repeat.
I love that. And what do you think Ace's ideal forever home looks like?
I think he needs folks who have energy, who want to play with him and who want to get him outside and go for walks. He loves being outside, loves smelling new things, loves playing. He's good about taking longer walks with us. And so he's done pretty well for himself, like I said, on the leash. And so he enjoys that. He enjoys meeting people out on walks. So I think anyone who is a little more active with him. So just because he's a smart dog, he's looking for some stimulation, but he's great at, settling down when it's time to do that. So that's like I said, someone who, he's good at being by himself. So that's always great to hear.
Yes, absolutely. And finally, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Ace?
So Ace has, if you guys are familiar with some of these pups, Ace has toes that are webbed. So he has toes, not paws, but actual toes, and they have webbing in them, and they're just awesome. Like his big webbed feet. I don't know if he'll let me show you guys, but his you can't really see them, but they are just amazing.
Yeah.
He's just the most fun pup. Just so much fun. We're loving having him around.
Aww. That's amazing, Celeste. Thank you so much. I've seen pictures of his webbed feet. They're adorable. So
they are.
I mentioned that. And for those of you out there who'd like to learn more about Ace and perhaps play tug of war with him, look how good he is. You can go to Ace's very special link at cdck.cc/adoptace, ADOPTACE. Thank you so much, Celeste, and thank you, Ace, for being such a good boy.
Ace. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, so up next we have Baxley, who is being fostered by Erin. And Baxley is a male Labrador retriever. He is about 2 years old and about 43 pounds. So welcome to Baxley and Erin. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hi, thanks for organizing this event.
Well, so Erin, can you tell us a little bit about Baxley?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about his backstory, but I don't think that he came from an urban environment. When I first got him about a month ago, he was very afraid of walking over grates, loud sounds, buses, cars. So he's been doing very well getting adjusted to an urban environment. He's very sweet, loves to play with other dogs, with people, and he's just learning very fast. I'm very impressed with how far he's come in just a few weeks.
Oh, that's great. That's really wonderful. Thanks so much for working with him. And what kind of home do you think would be a good fit for Baxley?
Baxley loves being with other dogs, so I think he would be best suited for a home that has other dogs. He's been getting along very well with my dog, Shirley. I would not recommend at this time a home for Baxley that has young children, because when he plays, he plays with humans the way he plays with dogs. And I'm afraid that that might not be appropriate for very young children, but he's super sweet and very well intentioned and would never, intentionally hurt anyone or any child.
Well, it's great to know that he's so playful, but look how good he's being now. He has a calm side. That's amazing. And you touched on this a little bit, but how has Baxley adjusted to your home?
He has adjusted in a lot of ways. When he first came here, he wasn't quite sure how to walk up or down the stairs. So he has gotten used to that. As I mentioned, there are lots of different ways he's adjusting to the urban environment. He still gets kind of spooked by large trucks and buses, but he's gotten so much more comfortable and more confident in this environment. His house training is going very well. He was not house trained at first, but now he is perfect about waiting until our 2 or 3 day, and if he does need to go out at other times, he lets me know. And lastly, he no longer needs the crates. He used to sleep in the crate at night. I let him sleep out of the crate a few times during the first few days and weeks that I was fostering him, and he would chew up clothes or whatever. So he slept in the crate for a while, but he's doing so much better, and he now sleeps on the bed with me. He doesn't chew anymore. He had terrible separation anxiety when he first came here, but now I leave him out of the crate with Shirley, and he does just fine. There's no need to keep him in the crate anymore.
That's amazing. And again, I really can't say this enough, but thank you so much for working with him and for your patience, and look how well he's doing. That's
yeah, no, it's my pleasure. He's a great boy.
That's great. And what do you think is his favorite thing to do?
His number one favorite thing, like Ace, is to play. He loves to play with other dogs whenever possible. He and Shirley play a lot inside the house or when we take them to the park. He likes to play with humans. He often plays with me. Sometimes he comes up to me when I'm working and will jump up on my lap and start to play. And when there's no one to play with him, or if I'm unavailable or Shirley is napping, then he has a bunch of toys and he can content himself with his toys and his chews.
That's great. And it's wonderful to know that you have a resident dog, Shirley, and, it sounds like they get along. So that's, really awesome to hear. And do you have a favorite moment with Baxley so far?
There's not any one specific moment that I would point to, but I love the way he hugs. Maybe he'll do it at some point, but he likes to put his arms around me, and it's just very sweet. It melts my heart, and every time he does it, I just love it.
I love that. That's so special. And is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Baxley?
I just want to reiterate that he's learning really quickly, and adjusting to this home. He is so friendly. I have never seen him not get along with any person or any dog. He's just so friendly and would get along with anyone.
That's great. No, I'm so glad you said that. It certainly sounds like it. So thank you so much to you both for being here and for taking the time. And for those of you out there who have enjoyed meeting Baxley as much as I have, you can go to his very special link at cdck.cc/adoptbaxley, ADOPTBAXLEY. Thanks, Erin. Thanks, Baxley. All right. So up next, we have Little Bit, who is being fostered by Serena. And Little Bit is a female boxer. She's about a year old and about 33 pounds.
Hello. I'm trying to get her to turn, but she only wants to look this way.
That's so cute. So Serena, can you tell us a little bit about Little Bit?
Yeah, she came from North Carolina. She's only been in DC about 10 days, but she's doing great with the transition. I mean, she's super friendly. She's affectionate. She's, really playful in a puppy way, but because she's about a year old, she's kind of past some of the puppy things. So she's fully house trained. She's had no accidents. She's fully crate trained. I think she's a little bit annoyed because she loves the crate. And I actually took her out of the crate for this. And she was kind of like, I was sleeping. But, she honestly, I've never had a dog that was kind of pre-crate trained, and she's very happy to go in there and she just falls asleep no matter what. So it's a great training tool for her. In terms of how she is, she loves being outside. She is really curious, likes to explore and sniff everything. She can sniff a pile of leaves for 10 minutes to make sure she has sniffed everything. So a lot of times, we might be walking and we could walk 30 minutes and we only go 4 blocks because she has to explore every inch, but that's great. Sniffing makes her tired, and it's important mental energy, mental exercise for them too. But we're going a little further every day with, our walks, of course. And, like I said, she loves going outside. Sometimes she doesn't want to come inside because she sees a dog or a person and she just wants to play with them. But once she gets inside, she's also very happy because she remembers, oh yeah, this is where I get fed. And she is super food motivated. She loves her food. And that's been helpful in her training, and just helping her get used to city life. I mean, she's been pretty good. My neighborhood's a little quieter city neighborhood. I mean, there's a lot of dogs and people, but it's not super busy streets. So, when we've walked up to sort of the busy intersections, she's still a little cautious about buses and trucks and things like that. So we're working on that, but with, she's very responsive if you give her treats when scary things are going by, and she's getting more and more used to it. So every day we're going a little further.
That's great. And yeah, it's so important to keep in mind that, a lot of these dogs are brought here from rural shelters and they're experiencing this for the first time. So, it's wonderful to hear that she's kind of getting a little bit better each day. And I love to hear that she's so inquisitive. And you mentioned this a little, slightly, but how does she do with other dogs and other people?
Oh God, she absolutely loves people and dogs. She's super social. even from the first day, she was like kind of leaping to the end of her leash to meet new dogs and new people. But actually, she's already learned to calm down a lot with that, being able to approach more slowly because she's realized that's when the dogs and people want to play with you. And one of her favorite things is, when she's learned to like walk up to people and they start petting her, she just flops on her back, kind of like this, and so she can get her belly rubs from total strangers. So yeah, and she's actually also been fine. I've had at least one visitor come in and she was perfectly, happy to see them, and she calmed down. She's still a little jumpy because she's a young dog, but she's learning very quickly to sit, and then you get attention. And then in terms of meeting other dogs, she definitely has met dogs one-on-one at the dog park and off leash, but also on leash. And she just loves to play with them. She definitely plays like a young dog. She's jumping, bouncing. There's some wrestling, there's running. So, as long as she has a kind of a similar energy dog that likes to play like that, and there are a lot of young dogs who like to do that, she's really happy.
Yeah, that's so great to hear. I love that she rolls over for belly rubs with people, and it's great to hear that she's good with dogs on and off the leash. And what do you think her ideal forever home looks like?
So somebody who likes to be outside because she loves the outside, who wants a walking buddy. Does not have to be a person who's a runner or jogger. I definitely am not. And she's just kind of like she goes at a normal pace with a lot of stopping for sniffing. I think if you're looking to meet your neighbors, she'd be a good ambassador because she wants to meet everyone. And she will definitely go up and introduce herself to everyone. I think, she'd be great for a first-time dog owner because she really doesn't have a lot of kind of issues. She doesn't seem to have any separation anxiety. She seems very trainable. I haven't seen her with young kids. She does have some like zoomies and energy. I can't really say that, but I think she'd be fine with older kids. And I live in a condo, so I think she'd be fine in an apartment or a house. Having a yard or some kind of safe off-leash area would be nice, just because she does like to run once in a while. But she's fine with all the condo noises and apartment noises and things like that. So I think she's very flexible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. And do you have any, funny stories about Littlebit or favorite moments? Anything you can, share that gives us we've already seen a glimpse of her personality, but anything?
Yeah. So basically, like, she likes to stretch out like this every night on the sofa and when she's sleeping. And often, she's super floppy. And so her head will sort of like start slowly like inching toward the ground because she's stretched out and taken up the whole couch. And then inch by inch, she'll eventually kind of slip off and fall. And it happens every day, at least once a day, because she's just super relaxed when as you can see, she's pretty chill. So that's been very cute. Then she jumps right up and gets back up again. Oh, hi. I'm sorry. I think I lost you for a minute.
I think that was me. So
Okay.
Sorry, Sarita, would you mind, just because I missed it, maybe our audience heard, but does she have a favorite toy?
Oh, yeah. Well, anything with food in it, like a Kong or things like that. And then anything she can de-stuff and destroy. So I buy a lot of stuffed toys that I know will only be used once.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, finally, is there anything else you'd like to share about Littlebit?
No, I mean, honestly, she's just a really happy dog. You'll get a lot of attentions when you're out walking with her, just because her tail's always wagging, and she's just so happy and joyful. And I think she's going to make a great pet for somebody.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for all of the wonderful information and for taking the time. Thanks a little bit for taking time away from your crate. Sorry about that. We're so happy to have you here. And for those of you out there who would like to learn more about Littlebit, you can visit her very special link, which is cdck.cc/adoptlittlebit. Thanks, Serena. Thanks, Littlebit. All right. So up next, we have Lucy, who's being fostered by Liz and Sophia. And Lucy is a female mixed breed dog. She's about 7 months and she is about 35 pounds. So thanks so much for being here. And it's so cute. I love that she came right off the couch to say hi. Can you tell us a little bit about Lucy?
Yeah, so Lucy came as a puppy from Puerto Rico at around 13 weeks in January. And she is a pretty rambunctious dog, but she's very friendly. And she's been in our home since Friday. So we've been doing some slow adjustments and slowly getting her used to the apartment and the neighborhood and just new habits and all of that.
That's great. Yeah, that's so nice to hear that you've taken her in, and it's wonderful. What do you think her ideal forever family looks like? Just based on, I know you've only had sort of a few days to get to know her, but
yeah.
What do you think?
I think that she would do really well in a family that is ready to give her a lot of love. She has a lot of love to give and is pretty cuddly and loving, as you can see. She plays pretty well as well. And we've been having some exploratory time with walking. She's not super confident in walking. Come here. Oh, no, that's not very nice. Come here. I live in an apartment building, so we have some people going around in the hallway all the time. She likes to look out the windows. So she does pretty well in an apartment building, I've noticed. And can you come here? She's pretty friendly with a lot of the people and the dogs that we've met. So I think that she would do well in a lot of different types of home, maybe a little bit of a quieter neighborhood for the time being. But she, I think, is ready for someone who's just able to give her a lot of patience and time and love.
That sounds great. And I know you've covered this a tiny bit, but how has Lucy been settling into your home since arriving on Friday?
Yeah, she's been doing pretty well. She has met a lot of different people in our building and in the outside area around our building, and has been pretty timid but friendly with everyone. She's met a lot of different types of people and dogs, and there hasn't been any issues. She has been a little bit more timid around the neighborhood just because it's a little bit louder. We live in downtown area DC, so I think that's been a big adjustment for her, the noises and the just the sounds and more action, but she's been slowly adjusting to it, surely. So we've been exploring a little bit more around our apartment building. And she's maintained her potty training really, really well. She uses the bells that are on our door to signal every morning and during the day when she wants to go out, which has been very relieving in an apartment building. And she's done really well with all the different entrances as well. She sits at every door to the apartment, to the elevator, in the elevator, and we have her wait and just practice patience. And she's been doing really, really well with that. She's super treat motivated. So it's been really good to help her gain her confidence in this new environment with all the treats and fun little things. And she sleeps really well in her crate at night and during the day sometimes, so it's kind of a safe space for her. And even within the transition, she's become very comfortable in our space pretty quickly. She does play a little bit, but she also sleeps quite a bit as well.
That's great. No, it sounds like she has a lot of personality, but it's great to hear that she has apartment manners. I love that she waits to go in the elevator. That's awesome.
Yes. And we've even ridden the elevator with other dogs and other people. Wow. And she has been she just sits there as the training has taught her, which has been really great. And everyone is always very impressed with her. And everyone she meets that gives her an actual pet just is astounded by how soft she is. She's incredibly soft. And it's very nice.
I love that. That's great. And I know you've already been describing Lucy, but if you sort of had to narrow her personality down into 3 words, what would they be?
I would say she's very loving, and she's also very playful, and she can be really calm. I think those are not things that always easily go hand in hand, but as you can see, she's pretty independently occupying herself right now, which is a good common theme, that we'll play together, but she'll also play by herself as well.
That's great. And again, I know you've only had her for a few days, but are you able to tell yet when she's really at her happiest?
I think when she's getting treats, she is so food motivated that the second I dig my hand in the bag, whatever I want, that's what we're gonna get. So it's great that she is so excited about the treats constantly.
Yeah, and that really is important to highlight for training purposes. It's great to know that, treats work.
Yes, yes.
That's awesome. And finally, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Lucy?
No, I think Lucy is a very, very nice dog. I only had her since Friday, but she's been really loving and very nice to everyone that she's met. So I think that she is a little clumsy, but is ready for her next forever home.
That's great. Well, thank you so much to you both for being here. And for those of you out there who want to learn more about Lucy and maybe see how soft she is for yourself, you can go to her link at cdck.cc/adoptlucy, Lucy. Oh, look at her. She's looking right at the camera. Thank you so much, Liz. Really appreciate it. All right. So I think we will go to Pluto next, who is being fostered by Serena. And Pluto is a male hound. He's about 4 years old and about 45 pounds. So welcome to Pluto and Serena.
Hi.
Could you tell us a little bit about Pluto?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way to show.
No, that's great.
Yeah, so Pluto, I think he came here about a month ago from down south. And I just got him 2 weeks ago and he's been adjusting super, super well. He's super well behaved, really kind soul. Yeah, he loves sleeping and chilling in his crate and looking out the window. Like some of the other dogs, we have a crate. We're thinking about getting rid of it because he really doesn't need it, but he just really loves his crate. Just likes going in there and relaxing. And then he loves being outside. His walks are his highlight of the day. He just the entire time his nose is just on the floor and he's just smelling everything. And so walks are definitely his favorite part of the day. But other than that, he just relaxes inside and is a great, calm, chill companion. And he doesn't bark.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great to know. And how does Pluto do with other dogs and with other people?
Yeah, so we actually have a resident dog here. And I think they're about the same age. They both have pretty similar personalities, actually. They're both very chill, so they get along really well. Yeah, they don't really play or anything, but they just kind of relax with each other. And but on walks and stuff, Pluto has definitely recognized a dog and has done really well, and just you can tell he's excited and wants to play. If my dog would play, I'm sure Pluto would want to play.
Got it. That makes sense. What's he working on now?
I put a little treat inside this, his favorite toys are these rubbery toys.
Yeah.
So I just put a little treat in there. Otherwise, he would just be sleeping, I think.
I love that though. Yeah, look how good he is about trying to find it. That's great.
Yeah, so he'll go at that for a while until I'll probably feel bad and just give it to him.
Oh, it's good mental stimulation though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how is Pluto doing in your home these past 2 weeks?
Yeah, super well. We live in a pretty small condo in DC. we do live in like a quieter neighborhood here, so he hasn't really been in like the super like dense crowded city, but in my neighborhood in DC, he's done great. He doesn't react to the like loud noises or anything on walks. He like doesn't get spooked by anything, which I feel like that's really surprising. My own dog still like gets scared from like a motorcycle or something, but Pluto does great with that. We have a little patio area, and at like the first 2 days we had him, you could tell he didn't really recognize what the fence was, and he would try to, he was very curious about what was over the fence, but now he doesn't even try to see what's over the fence anymore. He kind of has really gotten used to the routine of like going out there, going to the bathroom in the morning, coming in, getting his breakfast. Yeah.
That sounds great. I'm so glad to hear that he's settling in. That's awesome. And if Pluto could plan his ideal day, what do you think it would look like?
Probably a long, leisurely walk somewhere with a lot of good smells on the floor. Walks are definitely his favorite thing to do.
That's great. I love that. I feel like it's classic hound to be sniffing. That's great.
Yeah.
And what do you think his ideal forever home looks like?
So he's super, super chill. And like, I don't know. So someone who kind of wants just like a chill companion. Someone who, he does have his little bursts of zoomies, like just a couple times a day. And yeah, pretty calm household. He does well with other dogs. I haven't seen him with little kids, but I would think he would do well with them just because of how like well behaved and nice he is. Yeah, he's just a really nice boy.
Oh, I love it clearly. Hi, Pluto. And is there anything else you'd like to share about Pluto?
I will say one of the cutest things he does is right before walks, right when you like start getting out his harness and leash and everything, he does like the biggest tippy tappies ever. And he just goes crazy. And so that's really cute when he does that.
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad you mentioned that. That's adorable. Well, thank you so much to you both for being here. And if you'd like to see Pluto and his little tippy tap toes, there he is, little nose, you could go to Pluto's link at cdck.cc/adoptpluto, Pluto. Thank you so much to you both.
Yeah. And he's found the treats up there.
Oh, look at that. Very inquisitive and resourceful. All right. So up next, we have Shadow, who's being fostered by Lizzie. And Shadow is a male hound who's about 6 years old and about 40 pounds. So welcome, Shadow and Lizzie. Oh, there he is.
I'm waking him up. He's going to be like, why is everybody bothering me?
Oh, no. Sorry, Shadow. Thanks for putting up with us.
He's going to do a big stretch. So this is Shadow. He's a little angel, though. He's just sleepy.
So sweet. And can you tell us a little bit about him?
Sure. Shadow is, they said 6, but he kind of acts more like a puppy, maybe like 4. I think he came from Smith County, Virginia, and he's a hound mix. They said he's pretty much tricolor. He really likes to sleep, as you can see. He does not bark. He does whine sometimes on walks when he sees another dog and he wants to go over to say hi to them and sniff them, but no barking. He is house trained, so he does not go potty in the house. He's a really good dog. He's my first foster, and I was very pleasantly surprised at how well behaved he was. I really didn't have to do much training with him. He already knows how to sit. We're working on paw now. Through different foods that I've gotten him, he eats everything. He's not complaining. And he loves going on walks.
That's great.
Are you
Well,
gonna
it sounds like
Are
there's
you gonna wake up?
oh, Shadow. Oh, so it sounds like there's a lot to choose from, but what is your favorite thing about Shadow?
He is super snuggly, super snuggly. So I don't put him in the crate. I actually haven't even brought it in my house, but he likes to sleep and we're comfy, but he likes around like 9 o'clock, he'll run into my bedroom and jump on the bed and kind of take himself to bed and wait for me. So I really enjoy that. And in the morning, he kind of snuggles up to me and he's like, hey, you gonna get up now and take me out? And so he can basically fall asleep like on top of me. He's easy. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how has he changed over the past few weeks?
He has, I think, put more trust in me. When I first got him, he cried a lot. Even just like walking around the house, he would whimper. Okay. And didn't really know, like he came here and he was with a foster for a day. And then I took him after that. So I think he had moved around a lot. He didn't really know where he was. He probably wasn't used to a city. And so it was kind of confused. And, I would leave the house and he would cry and it would obviously break my heart because I didn't want to leave him when he was crying. But now he still doesn't really like when I leave, but I don't hear him crying. He's super excited when I come home. So he's definitely loosened up and kind of gotten more comfortable, clearly.
Yes.
He's made himself very much at home, but he's extremely easygoing and like minimal work I've had to put in, which has been nice.
Oh, no, that's so great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Shadow like to do? What kinds of things?
A lot of this.
Yeah.
He does like, obviously he loves going on walks and he loves to greet other dogs. I do have a food puzzle thing where like this wooden thing that he has to move different pieces around to get to the food and the treats. So he likes to do that. I like to give him that before I leave, so it keeps him active for a little bit. And he also likes to look out the window. I'm like on the top floor in a condo building, and I've put like a chair next to the window so he can jump on it and then he can look out the window. He never barks, like I said, but he just likes to kind of patrol the neighborhood and see what's going on.
I love that. That's so cute.
I'm sorry he's like not awake right now.
No, but he's so sweet and we get a good look at him. So
he is
perfect.
very sweet and very soft and a good.
Yeah. What a good boy. And what kind of home do you think would be a good match for Shadow?
I brought my nieces over before. They're like 5 and 9 and he did really well with kids. He does like other dogs. The person who had him before me for a night had a dog and she said there was no issues there. So he would be okay in a home with kids and other dogs. Really just somebody, he doesn't need like a ton of activity, obviously, but somebody that's like present and gives them lots of pets. And, he definitely likes when I'm home and just like kind of cuddling. He'll wake up every now and then from his naps and want to come over and get his belly rubbed. So definitely somebody that is present and wants to, snuggle with him.
Oh, that sounds great. And finally, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about Shadow before we let you go?
He is, like I said, he's doesn't go potty in the house. He's very good. He's like the perfect size dog because you can lift him up if you needed to. His coat is extremely soft and he's very sweet. He likes to give kisses. He doesn't complain about his food. He's cuddly. He's like the perfect dog. So I know he'll make somebody very happy because I've only had him 2 or 3 weeks and I'm already attached.
I love that. Well, Lizzie, thank you so much for fostering. I know you said you're a first-time foster. That's so important. So, we really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's been a very smooth transition. So thank you.
No, I'm so glad to hear that. And we're so happy to have you in the CDCK community, and Shadow, you too. Thanks for being a good boy. We'll let you go back to sleep.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for those of you out there who would like to learn more about Shadow, and if you want Shadow to make you happy, you can visit his link at cdck.cc/adoptshadow, SHADOW. All right, so I think our last puppy to feature is Ollie, who's being fostered by Dana. Ollie is a male hound. It's a night full of hounds. He's about 5 years old, and he is about 52 pounds. And I just want to say, I told Dana, but I've loved following Ollie's adventures on his special Instagram account, which is adoptollie, OLLIE _DC. So welcome, Ollie and Dana. There he is.
Thank you. And I have to apologize right out the gate, because I know I was supposed to get him all settled before this started, and I did the exact opposite. We're having guests, and so I moved the crates and I moved the dog beds, and I upset all the dogs. So, but it looks like we've got him settled for now.
That's good. Well, no, listen, it's hard to sort of coordinate. So we really appreciate you both being here, in whatever capacity. So thank you, in whatever mindset. So can you start off by telling us about Ollie?
Yeah, so Ollie is new to DC. He came from North Carolina a little over a week ago. Initially, he was really fearful, but he pretty quickly warmed up to us. He's getting comfortable in our home. He's already best buds with our resident dog. He insists on sleeping like right next to him most of the time, which is super cute. He's, as you could see, a beautiful hound mix with big old droopy eyes. And I have to say his listed weight is a little misleading right now. He was very underweight when we first got him. He's actually quite a big dog. So I would expect by the time he's adopted, he'll be like well over 60 pounds, working on putting some weight on him. And he's looking good. He's personality wise, he's been sweet and very calm and quiet so far. But he's also curious and friendly. So he likes to sniff every person and every dog that he meets. He's very gentle, even to the point where, I don't know if you've ever fed like a farm animal or a horse or something, where they sort of like very softly take food out of your hand with just their lips. That's how he is. So yeah, he's very sleepy and low maintenance, and he loves walks out in nature, especially in a quiet park or something. But he's not like a super high energy dog that needs to, go for really long walks and hikes and play. Like he probably could, but he doesn't require that level of exercise.
That's really good to know. Thanks for sharing. And again, this is a hard question. I asked it before, but what 3 words would you use to describe Ollie? It sounds like, there's a lot you could say to describe him.
I would say so far, sweet, gentle, and quiet. I know he's fairly new and he might come out of his shell a little bit, but he really barely makes a peep ever. You expect a hound dog to be, maybe barking at the door and stuff. But so far he's almost a silent dog. He's probably noisiest when he's sleeping because sometimes he snores.
That's so cute. And are you able to tell yet when he's at his happiest?
Yeah, he's had some moments. So we're in an apartment, but we've got a fenced in dog run behind the building. And one of our happiest moments so far has been, like the first day was really fearful and everything was new. But the second day, he started playing with our resident dog and sort of running around that park and wagging his tail and being a little bit goofy. So that's when we know he's happy, is when he starts getting all goofy and waggy.
Oh, I love to hear that. That's great. And how is Ollie doing in your home? And I guess I'll attach another question. And what kind of home do you think would be a good home for Ollie?
Yeah, overall, he's doing really well here. I know some people think that a big dog can't live in, an apartment. I think that's certainly not the case with Ollie. He's pretty much always in the same room with us wherever we are anyway. So it might as well be a studio apartment for him. I will say he's a yard dog. When we first took him into that fenced in dog run, he just came alive like, this is my habitat. I love to walk around and sniff and explore. So I think his dream home would have a fenced in yard. Of course, there are always exceptions to that. Like we happen to have a place right nearby where we can bring him. And so that works too. His only challenge has been that we had a couple really good days, and then the demolition of the hotel next door picked up.
Oh,
and it's so loud. All the dogs in the neighborhood are freaking out. But he especially really can't handle the noise. And so I think in the short term, he needs a quiet place, and he might come out of his shell later on and be okay with noise. But right now, noise is his biggest issue. Aside from that, he gets along with other dogs. He's great with people. Based on what I've seen from his temperament, I think he'd be excellent with, children, cats, whatever other animals someone might have in their home. He's just a really calm, gentle boy, and he just kind of wants to sniff everybody, and that's it. Children in the short term, if they're really young, might be a little bit noisy for him right now, but in the long term, I think that he is gentle and calm enough to handle that. Let me think. Anything else?
That's great. And, it really does take a lot of patience, especially for these sweet dogs, again, who are coming from such different environments. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And I will say he's really well behaved. He doesn't really get into trouble. He seems to understand that there are boundaries. We're still working on, so far, the only toy he's really used is the Kong. Otherwise, he hasn't shown any interest in the toys we have around the apartment. I don't think he knows yet that they're for him and that he's allowed to use them. So I think that's probably a good extreme to be on, is, not trying to take everything in sight, but sort of waiting until he knows that he can have it.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm excited for him to discover toys. That's very cute. Do you have a favorite moment with Ollie so far?
Well, one of my favorite things that Ollie does is sometimes he just kind of walks up to me and just sniffs my face a little. And it's just the cutest thing to have, that view of him. And I think it's pretty much how he shows affection so far. I don't think he had a great history where he could really trust humans. And now that he's learning to trust us, that's where his comfort level is now, is just kind of being in our faces and sniffing. I think my other favorite memory is the first time he got goofy here. He had been sleeping in his bed, and then he woke up, and I have a really playful resident dog who went over and started, checking him out and trying to get him to play. And so Ollie rolled over on his back and was kind of writhing around and being all goofy and kind of hugging him with his paws. So that was a really sweet moment for us.
That's so cute. Thank you. And is there anything else you'd like to share about Ollie before we let you go?
No, just that I think he's a phenomenal dog, and he's going to make somebody really happy.
Well, thank you so much to you both for being here. Look how good. I know you said that the dogs are unsettled, but look how wonderful he was. That's great.
He's just staring me down now, like, why are you talking?
He's been very patient. And thank you again. For those of you out there who would like to learn more about Ollie, you can go to his special link at cdck.cc. cdck.cc/adoptollie, OLLIE. And again, check out his Instagram at adoptollie_DC. So I think sadly that's it for this event, but we've gotten to meet so many wonderful dogs. And again, so happy our fosters could be here. I really want to give a huge thank you to all of them again today. We're so grateful for everything that you do. And it's so appreciated that you took the time to be with us this evening. And we got to hear a little bit about these incredible dogs. And thank you to everyone in the audience. We hope that you've enjoyed meeting these dogs. I've certainly enjoyed speaking with them or their fosters. And if you're interested in learning more, or perhaps even giving one of them their forever home, you can find more information about all of them and about fostering, volunteering, donating, and adopting on our website, which again is citydogsrescuedc.org. Thanks again to everyone that is watching and who participated today. And I hope you all have a great night and a very happy 4th of July.